Hi, my name is Niziya Hajiyama, and today I'll be talking about my business analysis for my hotel, Urban Inn. So first, this is the interview summary of the students, 8 students I interviewed, or the 8 people I interviewed us. So first of all, who won what? So the students are mostly in the age group of 19 to 22, so like university students, and most are they travel for leisure. They don't travel for work or anything like that. And their top priorities are cleanliness, Wi-Fi, and location. And most of them said that breakfast service is secondary, as in like the catering in like the restaurants or the catering in breakfast in hotels in the morning. Yes. So where and when? So most of them travel 1 to 3 times a year. So the most frequent one is 5 times a year, but most of them travel around 1 to 2 times a year. And most of them said they book around 2 to 3 months ahead. But we have responses ranging. The least one, the amount of time is last minute, as in 2 days before the trip, and the earliest one is 5 months ahead. So most use Agoda or Booking.com, which is like a website where you can host your hotels, apartments, and various places. And then some of them prefer to book directly with the hotel, which only some of them, but most is go to use websites. So why and whom? So the reason is price, location, and convenience. So the price is, of course, they want convenient. They want a reasonable price, or they want a cheap price. The location has to be like in a location where it's convenient, where it's safe, or maybe where it's just okay. Next is most of them are mostly influenced by reviews, online reviews, and family and friends, so word of mouth. Or some even follow influencers to see what their opinion is because they trust these people's judgment on like because they have a lot of experience, they've been to a lot of places, right? So maybe they know what they're talking about. So after you factor all of this, how how do they make the decision? So most of them would factor in the price first, if it's okay, if it's reasonable, if it's cheap, and then they'll see the reviews. Okay, if the reviews are good or if it's bad or if it's just okay. But most will look for good reviews. And next they will look at what the hotel offer us as services. What hotel services do they offer? Yes. And then most will compare multiple hotels for booking. So some promotions are helpful, but it's not the main factor. Some people just want the place to stay. So the key takeaway is that we as students want to budget and we want reliable, so we want cheap and reliable. So most here, as you can see here, most prefer to book with websites, and some who influences the hotel choices. Most of them are online reviews. And lastly, the main reason for choosing hotels, it's a fair tie between price and location. So they factor in both of these rather than all these three. Next, this is the previous BMC model I had, and then this is the one I revised, the revised version. So here's what I changed. As you can see here in customers relationships, I wrote loyalty programs and packages, and I changed it to discounts and promotions because they said that if they travel to a place, maybe they would travel one time and never come back again, or maybe they would go back or like very in a long time. They won't go back often, maybe to that place that they travel to. So there's no point in making loyalty programs if you're not going to use it often, right? Or they're not going to go to the hotel often, or they're not going to go to that place often. So instead of making loyalty programs, to just change it to discounts and promotions. And next would be removing and in channels here I remove the online newsletter because nowadays no one really opens their mail for newsletters. They would look at it as junk mail. So maybe a few wouldn't, but most of them say just why not focus on social media, post everything that's happening within the company, like promotions or maybe something interesting happening in the hotel. Just post it online. People can look at it, and then we can bring more awareness to it just by posting on online. And then next is I also changed here website with good UI key activities here. So one of them, the reason why one of them said that they booked with the hotel website is because that particular hotel one particular hotel, they said that, oh, the website's UI was pretty okay compared to other websites where they couldn't navigate on how to book the website, but because this one has a simple UI, they can just like click and just book directly with the hotel, which is a good idea because we as a hotel don't have to waste like hosting fees to put up rooms in our other people's websites, and just put out our own, and then it'll be simple. So yeah, that's about it. The rest is about the same, and it's just like simplified. But yes, so thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Have a good day.